All right, amazing. Welcome again, everyone. This is the Marketing Cloud Onto the Next Frontier series. It's the last of our sort of formalized series that's planned. As you'll see later on, we have planned an AMA, and we are soliciting questions for that. So feel free to chime in with your voice. But let's get started. Today, just a few housekeeping items. Every session is recorded, so we have this YouTube link. I'll also drop all this in the chat here in a moment. Pedo has also been uploading the slides. As far as questions, I really want this particular session to be pretty interactive, so I will be gathering questions throughout the sessions so that we can address them at the Q&A at the end. So either hold your questions or drop them in the chat. I'll try to sort of scrape them together. We also do have a Slack channel, so you feel free to join the How to SFMC Slack. We're a pretty large community. If you're not part of it, really helpful to ask questions there and get some real live feedback. Registration links can be found at the bit.ly. Oh, that's okay. Like I said, our next session, if you want to change slides again, totally fine. And sorry for the busy GIF. I found that appy GIF, and you're lucky that I didn't sprinkle more throughout the entire thing because there are a lot of cute ones. But our next AMA session, our next panel is an AMA session. So get in on that. We've got a link on the next slide with a QR code where, like I said, soliciting questions for that. It's just a total open forum, but we would like to get as many questions ahead of time as possible. So feel free to submit that. There's also, on the same form, come some questions about where you might want to see the series go next. Agentforce marketing is kind of growing a lot. We're going to mostly be, well, I should say entirely addressing what's GA today, but there's a lot on the roadmap, so certainly more to cover in the future. But bringing us back to today, we have a pretty packed agenda, but lots of room, like I said, for Q&A at the end. I'll hand it over to Erin.
Hey everyone. All right. So today we're going to talk about, what we are learning as Marketing Cloud account engagement and engagement users, what lessons we've learned so far in learning this new tool, and some resources to continue our path learning. And then we'll have lots of time for Q&A because this is a great topic to kind of talk through. All right, so just some intros. I'm Erin Duncan. I am the Marketing Product Director at Circonte. I will be representing the account engagement, or formerly known as Pardot side today. I have been an account engagement user for about 15 years, and I co-lead the Atlanta Marketers user group.
And I'm Amanda Turner. I'm a Principal Solutions Architect at Slalom. I'm part of the How to SFMC leadership, so you've probably seen me around a bit, and happy to be here today. All right, so the topic at hand, Agentforce marketing. Obviously, we went through a little bit of a rebrand, but don't be confused. This is still sort of the same thing that we've been talking about when we reference Marketing Cloud Next, right? So what you get with Agentforce marketing, in case you're sort of unaware still, you do still get all the growth edition features as well as advanced, right? You're sort of extending your capabilities. What Agentforce marketing exists on the core platform, right? But you can sort of bolt it on to Marketing Cloud and kind of work between platforms, right? So we'll get into what that looks like and kind of relate it to what exactly you should be learning. So I come from the world of Marketing Cloud engagement. Erin comes from the world of Marketing Cloud. Goodness, I can't words today. Sorry, Erin. So she comes from the world of formerly Pardot. I can't think of Marketing Cloud.
Account engagement.
Account engagement. Thank you. I'm like looking at Agentforce and I'm like, that's not the right word. There's too many A's. So we're kind of like packaging all that knowledge together and relating it to the more advanced features of Agentforce marketing so that we kind of together have a direction of like what exactly we're here to learn. So that was a little bit of a ramble. But leading up to that, what new capabilities are we getting, right? So for Marketing Cloud engagement orgs, everything Agentforce, of course, is net new, right? That's a new capability. We're also going to see the introduction of account lead scoring, as well as two-way with your mobile messaging, both SMS and WhatsApp. The feature that I'm most excited about, and you'll see me kind of iterate on this throughout the slides, are the ability to sort of chain your customer journeys together. So within Marketing Cloud engagement, journeys couldn't be chained together, right? That was kind of like you could use data extensions and kind of get away with doing that in sort of a hacky way. But now we're going to have flows, right? So not only can you execute flows right in Agentforce, you can actually orchestrate your journeys in engagement itself.
Yeah, and for account engagement side, some of the new capabilities this is bringing to us is, again, flow. Flow is going to allow you to do more and be more granular with your processes. This tool also introduces new channels. SMS and WhatsApp has been possible with account engagement through third-party integrations, but now we can use those channels natively with Growth and Advanced. Agentforce Marketing, Growth and Advanced. I'm sorry, I'm going to go between those terms a lot. The name keeps changing, and my brain can't pick one. But it also has a really cool drag and drop builder that I know a lot of account engagement users are going to be a fan of. And then we've got some Gen AI capabilities, and my favorite feature, standardizing brand guidelines. So you can apply a brand to your marketing assets and then update them in one place. So slowly but surely, we're going to get away from, the button on our templates needs to be changed. So we have to go edit that in 50 email templates. Nope, clicking the wrong screen. Okay, so let's dive into what we are learning. And we're going to start with Data 360, which was just renamed from Data Cloud. So probably use both terms, but I'm trying to get behind Data 360. Now, if you have been attending the whole series, I think it was meeting 5 where we did a Data Cloud deep dive. Mike Morris led that one. And I would definitely recommend going back and watching that one if you missed it. It gives you some fundamental concepts on Data Cloud and just kind of gets you learning, the terms and the functionality to get you started. But if you missed that session, what is Data 360? It unifies and harmonizes your data. So it's going to serve as the database for Agentforce marketing. So you'll put all of your data into Data 360. It will create unified individuals, and the unified individuals are what Agentforce marketing works with. So what do marketers need to understand? Because you don't have to be a Data 360 expert to use Agentforce marketing, but you do want to know some key terminology. There are definitely a lot of new concepts and new names in there that you'll get a little confused if you don't have the background or the foundation of those learnings. Unified individuals, just kind of get a grasp on what those are and how they're created, because they will be used in Agentforce marketing. And then you also want just a basic handle on the structure of data, because that will come in handy when you use your data graph. The data graph essentially tells Agentforce marketing, here is all the data you can use for personalization, dynamic content, segments, etc. So using Data Cloud with account engagement, what does this mean? There is a connector between account engagement and Data Cloud. So you can connect these two systems with or without Agentforce marketing. But what this is going to allow now I'm saying Agentforce engagement. What this is going to allow account engagement users to do is put all of their data from all of the sources in one place. So, if you have an events platform or a website tool that is collecting data outside of account engagement, you can feed all of that into Data 360. So it's all united. Then you can do your segmentation there and send those segments down to account engagement. So you get a better 360 view of your data and can do better segmentation.
Sorry, just copying a question I saw in the chat real quick.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem.
So for Marketing Cloud engagement, our Data 360 segments are going to replace what we know as data extensions. So our Data 360 segments are directly activated, right, in Agentforce marketing, and those will be used to define those target audiences. As I have noted below, your segmentation waterfalls need to be built prior to this activation. So previously in Marketing Cloud engagement, even if we did receive data from Data 360, these names are killing me. We were able to do additional advanced filtering, query on that data. Going forward, when you're working in Agentforce, those waterfalls, that logic will need to be activated prior to actually sending the journey, right? So you won't be able to refine that audience prior to that activation. So our email personalization and merge fields, that's going to use Data Cloud's real-time data graphs. So that's going to be, again, sort of based on that unified profile, and it'll look a little bit different than AmpScript, right? So merge fields, that's what we need to focus on there. All right. Next up, we want to talk about flows. So flows are going to be sort of the engine that powers everything than Agentforce. What are flows? Basically, it's a programmatic way to visually bring together either a journey or to automate processes within Agentforce. So what do marketers need to understand? So there are different types of flows, right? So we'll need to deep dive exactly on how flows can be used to accomplish, like I said, either a journey or just something that needs to be automated in the platform. So we won't have like this journey builder automation studio where it'll be flows sort of across the board. There are element types within flows. So just like your automation studio or journey builder, you can do different things, right? And these are your types of elements. There's also a tie-in directly to Agentforce, right? So you'll want to be comfortable with how those two tools do relate together and how they can be used together. So again, for Marketing Cloud engagement, I referenced journeys. We're basically replacing journey capabilities within Agentforce. Flows can either execute entirely in Agentforce marketing, or if you still have Marketing Cloud engagement. So keep in mind, of course, you can have two different SKUs. You can have just Agentforce marketing, or you can kind of span across. And when you are spanning across both platforms, you can kind of orchestrate the existing journeys within flows in Agentforce marketing. So I kind of put in parentheses there, you're daisy chaining your journeys, right? So you, again, a new feature where we can orchestrate those within flows.
Yeah, and from the account engagement side, using flow is going to give us a lot more control over processes and what we can and can't do in our nurtures. So a couple of big things is wait steps. I think it was a couple of years ago, wait steps with hours came out in Engagement Studio program, and we all got excited. Now we can do wait steps in any element almost, and we can get down to the number of minutes for wait steps. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to allow me to automate more and really fine tune the processes to what exactly I want to happen. This will also allow us to work with Salesforce records directly, so we can update, create, transform records as needed. We can also deal with or work with assignments, which I know has always been a limitation of account engagement since it's a different system from Salesforce. So it kind of breaks down the barriers between those two systems. And we can employ multiple channels within a single flow. So within one flow, we could have two separate paths, one that is sending SMS messages to the users who have specified they want SMS instead of email, and then another path that is continuing to send email. All right, so now let's talk about consent. Consent works differently in Agentforce marketing, so you will need explicit opt-in for your subscription and channel. So say you're doing a newsletter and you're sending that out as an email and somehow doing a whole newsletter as an SMS message. For every user who receives that message, they would need to opt in to your newsletter on emails and your newsletter on SMS. Those are two separate opt-ins. This is going to help marketers focus on quality over quantity of communications. It's really going to allow our audience to tell us what they want to receive, where they want to receive it, so we can deliver on those preferences and increase engagement because we are meeting, our audience members where they are. Now, consent is going to work differently than account engagement and engagement. So you're definitely going to want to look into the consent concepts of Agentforce marketing and how it can align those to your existing tools. So for account engagement, there is a new consent matching feature in Account Engagement Optimizer. This came out at the end of October, and I don't think there was a banner for it. So if you haven't looked for it, you probably don't know it's there, but you can enable it and it'll help align email consent between account engagement and Agentforce marketing. It creates a new subscription, B2B email consent in Agentforce marketing. Right now it's only available for one business unit, but I believe Agentforce marketing is getting multiple business units in the spring release. So I'm hoping and guessing that will expand to multiple business units once Agentforce marketing does. I also put a link to the documentation for this new feature. So if you're an account engagement user and you want to turn this on, you have the instructions to do so.
Awesome. So for Marketing Cloud engagement, things get a lot more complex. So instead of our subscriber opt-in status, we now have this contact point consent. So that's kind of your keyword of what you need to really start starting to learn. What that actually means is we're using DMOs, so data model objects, and several of them to find the opt-in status for your subscribers. Again, as Erin said, this is across different channels, right? So we do have the ability, just like we do in Marketing Cloud engagement, to have a different opt-in status for each channel per subscriber. So consent records are separate from opt-in information stored in CRM objects. We need to think about that, right? So we're very familiar today with Marketing Cloud engagement. When the CRM comes into play, perhaps using the CRM objects to look for our consent and making sure that there's sort of a sync there. Within Agentforce marketing, we're not referencing those CRM objects. Again, the data model objects are the source of truth for your subscriber status. Consent is managed at either the email address or phone number level and not the individual. So another huge change, right? So we're looking at this at the contact point versus the individual. So there's kind of a lot to learn here for what opt-in status looks like in the future. So I really recommend focusing here. And by here, I mean into Data Cloud. Data 360. I'm struggling again with the names, so apologies. So Data 360, again, it's the source of not only your segmentation, but your opt-in. So really start to get a handle on those objects and what exactly they mean and how they relate. All right. So our lessons learned, we wanted to kind of encapsulate things that we've learned as our tools have evolved sort of over the years. For marketing cloud engagement, not much has changed, right? So marketing cloud, the SKU has really kind of grown outside of the core exact target platform that we knew. We got new features within that platform, but for the most part, a lot of it was outside of the platform, right? So now we're kind of coming to like a one platform situation, all built on Lightning, right? So an entirely new interface to learn, a lot to take in. I think there's room to embrace that, right? So we're not learning technically different platforms. I'm looking at you, MCP, when someone throws around the word marketing cloud. So it's going to, in my view, sort of simplify things, but we do have to learn a new platform. Data architecture is going to be super important still. Data still drives things. Data will be king. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit more consistent from implementation to implementation. Today, if you walk into a marketing cloud engagement instance, it can look vastly different from another instance. It's kind of the wild, wild west. Data cloud's going to bring some uniformity. There's still sort of niche things that you need to accomplish for different clients. Every client's totally different. Whether they think they're different, they are different. There's going to be some nuance still there, but I feel like our data architecture is going to be a lot more uniform, which is something to embrace.
Yeah. Yeah, and for account engagement users, we're a little bit further along on this kind of convergence path because we've had access to this tool since October 24, and I know engagement users have had access for not even a whole month yet. So for account engagement, this is going to expand the features and functionalities that are available to you and really get us closer to Salesforce core. So, account engagement is in its own system. Yes, you access it through Salesforce, but it's still a little bit of a standalone tool. So this makes the tools kind of fully integrated and really work closer together. So if you want to start exploring Growth and Advanced or Agentforce marketing alongside account engagement, I would recommend selecting a use case to build with the Agentforce and AI features to explore and test the features and see how your processes may change. Try out the new channels. So see if adding SMS or WhatsApp to your marketing tech stack may allow you to reach new members of your audience or may get members of your audience to engage more often. Definitely look at uniting your data sources in Data 360. But the biggest thing I want to make sure account engagement users understand is you don't need to end of life account engagement. I've heard from a lot of users, that they're like, oh, well, when do we need to get off account engagement? You don't have to. You can keep everything running in account engagement and then explore the new features of Agentforce marketing and use those systems side by side. Keep trying to click the wrong screen. Okay. Let's talk about some learning resources. So I put together some Data 360, Flow, and Agentforce marketing resources here. These are kind of all foundational to get you started. There are a ton of resources out there, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. But if you had anywhere to get started on these topics, these are the 5 resources I would suggest to get foundational knowledge, key concepts, and an idea of where to go next.
Love that. I actually pulled this slide from our session number 1. So I put together for that. So excuse all the Marketing Cloud Next on the links. Probably should have updated those, but that's okay. So within the Salesforce official resources, I've broken out sort of your generalized overviews versus your specialized tools where you can start to drill down on specific capabilities. And then I have your in-depth, so a lot more like development stuff that you can start to learn right now about Agentforce. Also, make sure that you bookmark the release notes. I can't emphasize how much is on the roadmap right now. there's a lot coming. This is a growing tool, and things are going to change very quickly with it, morph, and expand, right? Great. Like I said earlier, we really wanted this session to be sort of QA heavy. I've captured questions so far in the chat, but if you do have anything for us, feel free to drop them in, and I'll sort of go down the line. So we were asked earlier, will merge fields replace AmpScript for MCE? Yes. To Erin's point, be careful with that, right? So I'm saying yes because that is in Agentforce marketing. You can still use MCE side by side, and you are still using AmpScript in MCE.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I believe there is supposed to be a new feature on the roadmap too. It's not going to be AMP scripting exactly, but it's going to be similar to the AMP scripting functionality. Now, this is me saying it as an account engagement user where I don't really understand the AMP scripting, but that's what the product team has told me.
Yeah, for sure. Take a look at the roadmap. There's a lot going on in terms of personalization. I will say the first sort of iteration of your growth advanced Agentforce marketing SKUs left a lot to be desired in terms of personalization, but there's a lot coming, a lot that's GA that was even released in the last month, right? So keep an eye on the roadmap there. And we keep mentioning the roadmap, so I feel like Salesforce would want us to say, make all of your purchasing decisions on everything that is generally available today, please.
Yes.
All right, so our next question, what is the replacement for publication list in Agentforce marketing? So another MCE question. So you'll want to get really familiar with that contact point consent, right? So you can have opt-ins just like a publication list for different subscriptions on those data model objects. So at the end of the presentation, can we quickly discuss some name change tools?
I can take this
one. Yeah.
Yes. So Marketing Cloud Encore was never really an official name. Essentially, first came Marketing Cloud Growth, then came Marketing Cloud Advanced. And we were like, what do we talk about? Or what do we say when we're talking about both of these tools? And Salesforce said Marketing Cloud. Well, that confuses all engagement users. So we started saying Marketing Cloud Encore. Salesforce didn't like that, I believe. So they came out with Marketing Cloud Next, and that was renamed Agentforce Marketing at Dreamforce. So, summary: Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced, Marketing Cloud Encore, Marketing Cloud Next, Next Gen Marketing Cloud, and Agentforce Marketing are all talking about the same thing: the newest generation of marketing tools on the Salesforce core. I keep saying Growth and Advanced just because that's the name that hasn't changed. But of course that excludes, there's 3 other tools on the Agentforce marketing platform. So that kind of excludes those 3.
Yeah, good summary. So just remember to kind of keep it simple that Growth and Advanced are just SKUs on Agentforce marketing, right? The tool is still Agentforce marketing for the next gen. All right. So question regarding real-time capabilities. If I have a sign up and want to send a confirmation email, will the data be available for personalization? If so, does it come from data graph or can I pull it directly from the form fill?
Yeah, I can answer this one. So you can do it directly from the form fill. Essentially what you would do is you'd have that action be triggered by an event. So an event triggered flow. And then you can pull the data from that event. If it's a new person, and I'm not a data cloud expert, I think I'm explaining this right, but take it with a grain of salt. If it's a new person, I believe the system needs to ingest it, create a unified individual, and then you could use that data graph. But to do things in real time, you'll want an event triggered action.
Yep. Keep in mind that as Data Cloud ingests data, it's going through a few different phases with that data, right? So you have to, again, I don't deal with data cloud on day-to-day, so I'm struggling for words. So you do have to go through that identity resolution, right? So there is some processing before that data is like totally ready to use. All right, next question. As someone who's built his career in various aspects of MarTech and SFMC since 2017, I hear you. Do I need to keep brushing up on previous SFMC skills, skill sets at this time? Sorry. Is it worth the time? Been trying to learn development. Should I really invest the time and effort? Really good question. MCE isn't going anywhere. It's going to be around for a very long time. It'll still be sold for a while. I'm going to say a while because I really don't know what the end of that is. Salesforce hasn't announced it. The bridge to new features is combining the two platforms. I feel like for the most part, our marketing cloud, or sorry, not marketing cloud, Agentforce marketing customers are your net new, right? So they're not going to bother with marketing cloud engagement unless they're more of an enterprise user, right? So they might need the skill set, or not the skill sets, the feature set of both. So marketing cloud engagement's not going to go anywhere. I would say if you're in the world of consulting, absolutely keep on learning because you're going to get clients and customers that still use that technology for years to come. There's no roadmap for a full migration. If you're a customer, it's entirely possible that you land a job or you are at a job that's only looking at Agentforce marketing. So that's kind of my split answer there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, there's companies still purchasing account engagement and engagement like today, and they're new on those platforms. So if the platform was going away anytime soon, that wouldn't be happening. So I think engagement and account engagement are here to stay for a while.
Absolutely. All right, next question. How are you handling personalization via data graph with Marketing Cloud account engagement? Once Data Cloud is integrated with account engagement, can you use those for engagement emails?
So if you are going to do the personalization with the data graph, so that would be like merge fields, dynamic content, cross-object personalization, those emails would need to be sent from Agentforce Marketing. You can't use the data graph and the personalization from that tool and then send them out of account engagement. So I hope that makes sense. I feel like I need a visual for that.
Fair enough. All right. Is it possible to move assets from account engagement into next campaign?
Yes and no. There are some features you can turn on to sync assets to the Salesforce CMS. And then, your Agentforce Marketing will use the Salesforce CMS too, except it'll have its own CMS, but I believe you can share assets between the two. If you are building your account engagement emails within Salesforce, so we were using the Lightning Builder. Now when you build, you'll have the option to use the new builder. You'll have like a little button to use the new builder. That new builder would allow you to build emails that could be used in Agentforce Marketing or account engagement. So it really depends on the asset type.
All right. Will there be a way to automatically reverse consents from Marketing Cloud into DMOs? So they're looking at all subscribers, publication lists, etc. I don't know that I totally understand the question because of the word reverse consents. Perhaps you're referring to the fact that Agentforce Next is using an opt-in versus an opt-out. So that's just sort of a data concern, right? So the way, if you're looking to migrate that data, you'll just need to be mindful of that nuance. Certainly you can get that data into DMOs.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answered your question. If not, feel free to kind of refine that one, Enrico. Um, let's see. As Agentforce marketing only, I scrolled too fast. Work on unified profile. If someone wants to directly use the data present in DC without a unified profile, is that possible? Um, it's certainly possible, right? That data is available, but I'm not quite understanding because the unified profile is sort of your individual, right? So all of your communications start at the individual level. Um, but that data is there. It's a relational database, right? So you can access it. Anything else to add there?
No, I think I'd need kind of like a use case example
Mm-hmm.
to really answer that question, but nothing to add.
Yeah. All right. Does IP warming change anything? IPs will always need to be warmed. Where I caveat, and my apologies, I haven't kept up on when it's going to be GA'd, but right now, Agentforce marketing is shared IPs. So keep that in mind for your IP warming. I know individual IPs are coming if they have not already. Um, are you aware of when they're coming out or if they have?
I think they're available now.
Okay.
Needed, but they're going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. So if you are sending, I believe it's 5 million emails a month, then you're eligible for a dedicated IP. I know for account engagement, I think it was 100,000 per month, then you were eligible. And a member of the product team explained to me why. Basically, the system is working different on the back end, and there's more safety measures to make sure your IP is not getting bounces and getting blocked and all of that. He explained it way better than I did, but essentially, the send volume you need for a dedicated IP in Agentforce marketing is going to be much larger. So you have to go through your AE to get those at this point.
That is good to know. All right. Did they retire Pardot? That's you, Erin.
Just the name, not the tool. So yeah, no end of life on the horizon. Account engagement, or formerly Pardot, is here to stay.
Absolutely. All right. So in terms of getting feature parity, is there something in the core platform that directly replaces a cloud page? Yes. Yes, there is. So you will want, oh my goodness, my brain is really struggling again with all these products that we're referencing. You'll want Experience Cloud for that. So you can build landing pages using Experience Cloud.
Yeah, and you can build the landing pages in Agentforce marketing use Experience Cloud. Yeah. So like it's not, I just want to make sure you don't think it's like a separate purchase because it's built into the tool.
Perfect. All right. They announced at Dreamforce that if you have MCE, you will have access to these features, but the icon showed up and it drives you to a pricing page. I don't know, Devin. My assumption there is, so you have to have Data Cloud for all of these tools. And my assumption is that that is why you're getting a pricing page. So that is somewhat of a prerequisite to using Agentforce marketing. But yeah, they did totally make that announcement that MCE customers will have access, but I just don't know entirely what that looks like. A lot of the pricing, if you are confronted with pricing, just so everyone is aware, is it's all going to be that consumption based. So do get familiar with that. That's my little caveat. All right, so will the transactional journey be supported in the new platform along with event notification services?
Yeah, transactional sending is supported now. You could send messages for events and stuff, like reminders, transactional reminders. I don't know if event notification services means something different in MCE or if that's just transactional messages.
All right. If we want field level encryption enabled, will this feature be supported? So I would say consult your Salesforce core expert on that one, because my assumption is there's going to be some caveats there. But from an MCE standpoint, that was a data extension tool, right? So with your field level encryption, so that's not going to be sort of applicable to account engagement. My goodness, Agentforce marketing. Since it's built on the Lightning platform, right? So I would consult your core platform architect on that one, because I just don't know what field level encryption totally looks like on that side.
Yeah, I don't either.
And by that side, I'm just referring to the Lightning platform, right? All right. So what's the AF marketing equivalent of writing SQL against MCE data views? Joel, I don't think there is an equivalent. You would still, since you're still leveraging MCE data views, my assumption is that you're kind of using a combined platform. So you would still use your SQL queries within Automation Studio. All right. Can you suggest some use case which I can implement for learning purpose and partner org? That's tough because to my knowledge, we still don't have Agentforce marketing for demo accounts.
Yeah, you can get it in SDO orgs if you're a partner.
If you're a partner, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not a partner, I don't believe you can get a demo org, but could be something to ask your AE.
For sure.
I am working on a blog post on like, if you want to test this platform, what part of the implementation do you need? So, because the implementation guide's 53 pages, you don't need all of that to test it. So I should have that blog out in maybe the next week on the spot for pardot.com.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just a little bit difficult because a lot of these features you can learn sort of in the core platform, in Data Cloud, but the marketing specific features just aren't sort of widely available in a learning environment. Outside of Trailhead, there are a few modules where you can actually spin up a short time use to complete the trail. All right. Do you have to use the out-of-the-box unsubscribe page in Agentforce marketing, or can you use a custom one? You can use a custom page. Yep. Just be mindful of the new consent framework, right? So working with those DMOs. Anything to add there?
You can use the custom page. You can't customize the out-of-the-box one, though. That
fair, yes.
Confusion for some users I've worked with, but yes, you can use a custom page and then kind of organize everything on the back end.
Yeah. When I read that as custom page, that's like hosted elsewhere, right? So yeah. A custom preference center hosted outside of marketing, Agentforce marketing.
Yeah.
All right. So during the period in which the two platforms will have to coexist, Marketing Cloud and Core and Marketing Cloud Engagement, is there an automatic way to transfer opt-ins and opt-outs from Marketing Cloud to DMOs? I am unsure if there's any sort of automated tool for migration.
Yeah, I don't think there is. Account Engagement just got this feature to translate the two consent concepts. I wouldn't be surprised if something similar is coming for engagement, but engagement is just so early in its convergence path. So,
yeah. Oh, I love that. I didn't realize that you had that.
Yeah.
It gives me hope.
Yeah, it just came out like last week. So
amazing. There was a question about demos. So all of our previous sessions do have demos. This one is completely focused on learning, so we don't have any demo material today. All right, specific to two-way email, will this need special authentication to implement?
I don't know. I don't think that feature's out yet. We've got two-way SMS right now, which does require digital engagement, but I don't think two-way email is available yet.
I don't think that's GA'd. If it did, it was like literally within the last week, so I just don't have an answer for you. All right. Would you recommend using the new email builder from MC Next if you're only using account engagement?
Maybe. It depends, which is like the consulting answer. If you are building in Lightning, you're used to the Lightning email builder with account engagement, and you want to try the new builder, I would give it a try and see how you like building emails there. But if you're going to use the Agentforce marketing email builder and all of its features, like the AI to generate content, the data graphs for personalization, all of that, then the emails will have to be sent from Agentforce marketing, and you need Data Cloud to deploy that. So it really depends on what's going to fit your business. I would play around with that new builder and then see if you want to move forward with exploring next steps.
Cool. All right. Do you have any experience with using account engagement in parallel with MC Next?
Yeah. I deployed this for our internal marketing team, and I've helped a lot of clients deploy this as well. So I've seen many users using them both side by side.
Awesome. All right. Will you create an Agentforce marketing Slack channel in the future? Probably asking about the how to SFMC. Yeah, we're kind of looking at different ways to sort of reorganize now that the future's here. So it's possible. All right. Will there be a sandbox version of Agentforce marketing?
That came out in the last release, so it is available now.
Yeah. Can we get access to the sandbox for practice in the future? I think right now sandboxes are only available with a license, right? So there's not sort of an org that you can spin up as an individual user, unless you're a partner. You can request one of those. Can you share your blog link, Erin? Probably the blog link that you were referencing.
Yeah, just typing that in. So it's thespotforpardot.com. I haven't finished writing that post yet. I've got it about 75% of the way done, but it should be up there soon.
Probably too busy prepping for this.
Yes.
All right. Looks like maybe the last question. Can we send SMS and WhatsApp message from a partner org?
You should be able to demo those features and send test messages, but you're not going to be able to send like real SMS and WhatsApp messages to your audience from a partner org.
Yeah, definitely don't use those for sending.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No. All right. Give it just one more second here, see if anything else pops up, but I think we might be at the end. There we go. I've seen a few Salesforce community giving access to orgs for hands-on. Is this something that we can expect from Salesforce in the future? We have indications that that's coming, right? And so it's supposedly not going to be like marketing cloud engagement where there's no hands-on. I have been told that this is, since we're moving sort of into the Lightning space in that core platform, we will be seeing hands-on access for the first time. So that's exciting. Don't know when it's coming. So don't quote me. If it never comes, don't come for me. But I've been told that it's coming. Yeah. Probably one of the most requested things from engagement users.
Yeah.
Oh, one more. Do you get demo data? Oh, where do you get demo data for Data Cloud? So when you do request a partner account, there is some data already in there. My assumption is once it's available for the wider public, that they would have the same.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for everyone that joined. As I mentioned, our next session is going to be purely AMA, so this is great. It gave me a few themes, honestly, to put together for that session. But if, in case you missed it earlier, we are perfect. We are asking for questions for that session, so feel free to get them in. If there's anything you felt didn't fit here, that's totally fine. Throw it in the AMA session. It'll be entirely dedicated to questions, which there are a lot of, as you can see. So can't wait to see you all for that session. And thank you so much. Have a great day, afternoon, evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.